Recuerden, durante la sesión enviaremos un formulario de inscripción. Completarlo es clave para obtener el certificado de participación. 25%, 7 sesiones para los que asistieron al Open Day del sábado, 50%, 15 sesiones para los webinars. Con este porcentaje podrás postularte a las becas de las universidades participantes, incluida la beca para un curso corto de 3 semanas en el verano 2026 en nuestra sede de Instituto Marangoni, Milán. Buenos días de nuevo a todos. A nombre de la Cámara de Comercio Italiana en México, les doy la bienvenida a este webinar que forma parte de la quinta edición de Encuentro Creativo, un proyecto de la Cámara Italiana apoyado por la Embajada de Italia en México. El objetivo de Encuentro Creativo es promover la oferta académica italiana en México, acercando a estudiantes y profesionales a las instituciones educativas y a oportunidades formativas de Italia. Mi nombre es Laura Poveda, soy la encargada de admisiones de Instituto Marangoni para Latinoamérica y es un honor darles una calurosa bienvenida a este webinar titulado From Marketing 0.1 to 0.6 Strategy, Innovation and Sustainability in the Age of Brand Transformation. Hoy tenemos el honor de contar con la participación de Valentina Grigoletto en presentación de nuestra institución. Instituto Marangoni es una prestigiosa institución educativa internacional fundada en 1935 en Milán, especializada en moda, diseño, arte y negocios de lujo, con sedes claves en ciudades claves como Milán, Florencia, París, Londres y Dubái, entre otras. Ofrece programas académicos de licenciatura, posgrados, másters, cursos intensivos, cursos preuniversitarios y cursos cortos. Instituto Marangoni se caracteriza por su enfoque práctico, su estrecha vinculación con la industria y la participación activa de marcas líderes en la formación de los estudiantes. Marangoni combina excelencia académica, innovación, creatividad y una perspectiva global, atrayendo cada año a miles de estudiantes de más de 100 nacionalidades. Doy la bienvenida oficialmente a nuestra ponente, Valentina Grigoletto. Valentina es una experta de marketing y comunicación, especializada en el sector de la moda y del lujo. Tiene una licenciatura en relaciones públicas, corporativas y un máster de Fashion Promotion en el Instituto Marangoni. Valentina ha trabajado en diversas empresas y agencias en Milán y en el extranjero, desempeñándose como visual merchandiser, responsable de marketing y de comunicación, organizadora de eventos y conferencias. Desde hace más de 10 años se dedica a la formación, lleva 5 años como docente en Instituto Marangoni y actualmente es la coordinadora de los programas de negocios en la sede de Florencia en el área de moda y de perfumería, donde lidera el equipo docente, acompaña a los estudiantes y desarrolla proyectos en colaboración con marcas internacionales y de moda. Al final de la sesión revisaremos las preguntas, pueden ir dejándolas en la sección de Q&A, pueden hacerlas tanto en español como en inglés. Y ahora sí, Valentina, todo tuyo.
Muchísimas gracias, Laura. Buonasera, buongiorno a tutti, and welcome. So I'm sharing my screen so you can see the presentation. Okay. So welcome everyone. I'm super happy to be here today to present this topic because I think it's really important and interesting to understand the evolution of marketing. That's why I choose this specific topic to cover today and to see with you as a journey between the marketing 1.0 to marketing 6.0 and to see the evolution of marketing strategies, branding, comparing to, of course, the evolution of consumer. Because today the consumer, in particularly in the luxury and in the fashion system, is super expert, super informed, so the needs change a lot. But I don't want to anticipate too much. Let's start this journey together. First of all, I would like to introduce you the most important things that we will see today, starting from marketing and luxury marketing. What's marketing? Because we talk a lot, we discuss a lot, we use a lot the word marketing, but what does it mean today? Because there are many differences between the traditional marketing, the old marketing, we can say, and the contemporary marketing. If we look at the name marketing, we can recognize inside the known the market. So marketing means all the different operations that we can do inside the market. Of course, first of all, to sell or buy different kind of goods and services. But marketing is not just that. It's not just selling. It's part of a very important process that starts from a creative idea until the final customer. So in the phase of creation, in the phase of production, in the phase of distribution, and of course in the promotion phase, we need to use marketing strategies. So marketing today is really important and need to be also ethic, because as I said before, the consumer today is much more informed. So we don't use any more marketing to manipulate people, but we use marketing to attract, to engage, and to delight our customer, and to create and maintain a relationship with them. And in particular, if we talk about luxury marketing, we need to be even more accurate and delicate, because the luxury system, the luxury industry change constantly. It's a very competitive market. So we need to develop every year new strategies in order to become different from others and unique. We will talk also about innovation and sustainability. There are very important aspect to take care today when we decide to develop marketing strategies. Innovation, thanks to the evolution of the technologies that we can use today in order to improve our marketing strategies, the physical ones and the digital ones, of course, in particular, in order to create also experiences to engage customers and to maintain the relationship and try to also give more opportunities to interact with the brand directly. And sustainability, because it's no more just a trend. Sustainability today needs to be part of the business model of a company. And to be consistent, we need to use sustainable actions, sustainable approaches in every part of the process. Also thinking about marketing. And we will talk about the brand transformation. So how brands, in order to present themselves, to grow and to attract the customers, need to live this transformation and to invest every time in new kind of strategies in order to maintain or enhance the brand awareness, the brand reputation, the brand identity, and the brand image. So we will talk about branding. So here you can see our journey that we will start from marketing 1.0, starting from the 50s. That's an age where many experts, and one in particular that is Philip Kotler, the father of marketing, started to really study very well and in depth the different opportunities in terms of marketing, the different kind of strategies that many brands started to develop in order to give to their customers something new and to promote their product, their services, and also the brand. we will move to marketing 2.0. So here we are in the 70s. The customer change, the market change. So of course the branding strategies also changed. As well as for the marketing 3.0 in the 90s, the marketing 4.0 in 2010, we have the use and the development of different social media, the internet. So everything changed related to the communication and the digital marketing strategies. Marketing 5.0, again, the evolution of technology affect a lot the marketing strategies, and the digitalization help to develop international experiences also. And marketing 6.0 that started more or less in 2020-21, but it's still now. So we will study in this evolution also how we can use marketing strategies today, how fashion, luxury brands are developing their strategies, what are the main goals, and what are the most important customer needs. Let's start from marketing 1.0. The focus is on the product. The focus in these ages was related and was product-oriented, because product was the most appealing things that brands wanted to show and to share with their customers. So every communication campaign, every marketing strategy, and how brands approaches consumer was exactly putting the product in the center, in the middle. So related to the target, this type of marketing strategies and promotion was designed for the masses, so not so specific or sophisticated. And also the use of mass media communication was a little bit passive, because thinking about maybe television, radio, magazines, the more traditional media, were not allowed the possibility to interact directly with the brand, but just show to the customer the product, the services, and what the brand wanted to offer. The goals of these years were to maximize the production. So we talk about high volumes of product to sell, minimize the cost, of course, trying to attract the larger numbers of consumers with the lower prices in some way. And so we can talk about the functional communication. The communication strategies were made in order to communicate the functionality of the product, the functionality of the services. So everything was really product-oriented. Here we can see an example of a quite old campaign of Gucci in Florence, showing directly the product, in this case a Gucci bag, and try to attract, of course, the customer by imagining the location, in this case Florence and Piazza della Signoria, but the main focus is on the product, the bag in the city. Something, of course, elegant, sophisticated, but there is not a very important storytelling. There is not even the models that can represent the customer, just the product. This was the idea and the aim of marketing 1.0. Let's pass to marketing 2.0, and it's super interesting how brands analyzing the result of their campaign or their strategies understood that the product was not the most important thing to take care, but was the customer. The customer became and started to be the key. Is something super important also today, because customer is the key, and the satisfaction of the customer is the best business strategy of all. I would say also today. So brands started to analyze, to study the customers and the customer needs and decide to develop their strategies in order to attract them and to represent them in some way. So this was made thanks to the changes of the society that start to, of course, wanted to know more about the brands, want to feel more part of the brands in some way. And the target audience become more informed about the brand, wanted to know maybe the story of the brand, the name of the designer, the quality of the product. So brands start to give this kind of information because, of course, it's important to explain to the customer what you are offering to them. And the goal of this type of strategies in terms of marketing and communication was to convey trust, to give this sense of trust to the customer. You can trust our company, you can trust our brand because we are taking care of you and we want to engage you as part of the brand. So we start to talk from just a functional communication to a functional and emotional communication. Try to represent the target customer. In these pictures from Yves Saint Laurent, we can see a totally different campaign, not just based on product, but based on a moment, on storytelling, on we can imagine the designer with the models showing their outfit, of course the product, but the product is not the center. It's the expression, it's the feelings of people, of models that in this case represent the target. The target, the customers that want to feel not just elegant or sophisticated, but want to feel happy, want to enjoy a moment, want to feel part of the brand. As you can see, we can also recognize the name of the brand from maybe the store of Saint Laurent. Marketing 3.0 was based in the concept of sustainability because we started to discuss a lot of sustainability. Sustainability became very important for many brands because of the customer that started to become more informed, wanted to know more about, of course, the materials, the textiles, and the real quality of product. So brands started to share with their customers more information also about this part and started to show and share the commitment to sustainability. Sustainability that is not just means the environment, the attention to the environment, that of course is one of the key of sustainability, but sustainability in many senses, also in terms of ethics, in terms of values. These are the years of the values for the brand to show from the brand to the customer. So the target started to become a community. Many brands started to invest in order to create the sense of community, committed to very important values and very important things. And we can see also the starting of the use of digital tools. The goals were to communicate the values of the brand, the value of respect the environment, respect the people, also thinking about the working condition, and the sense of sharing. So it's more an interactive also way to communicate between the brand and the customer. So we need to imagine brand and the audience together, and this was the perfect moment to start discussing about the corporate communication, the corporate values, the corporate culture, and of course the corporate storytelling. To be more consistent, you need to be very you need to feel part of the brand, part of the company, sharing the values, sharing the same values. That can be the values for sustainability, for the environment, for ethics, but also the value of the quality, the value of the community, stay together, the value of also diversity and inclusion. So here we are talking about communication of values, to communicate and share these values, but also the communication of the brand value. So how much the brand can be considered as something more than just a brand, but something, thing that can show the commitment to the community and to, of course, the environment. And here we can see a campaign from Versace showing exactly some of the values of the brand. Thanks to Gianni Versace, the brand was born with a lot of values, the sense of community, the sense of stay together, the sense of believing in values, as well diversity and inclusion. Gianni Versace was maybe the first designer who represented models and presented models not just as models, but as a person, as people, showing their name, telling their stories, make them stars and supermodels. So these values are important to share to the customer in order to make the customer feel part of something, feel part of the brand values. And this type of campaign can really represent this sense of community, this sense of integration. I will stop a little bit also here, because it's important to highlight this third part of evolution from marketing 1.0 to marketing 3.0. And we can see that the brands started to move from the sense of thinking about the product, the mind, and the economic values of brand and generate profit. They moved to a purpose, to put more emotions and heart in their promotion and marketing strategies. So the campaign and the strategies become more customer-oriented, people value and social progress, until the real spirit of the brand. So brands become as people. We needed to see a brand as a person with real values, with the spirit, with the personality, with the DNA. So it's important to share these values, to take care about the environment and to take care about the human happiness. So it's very important to see this part of the evolution of marketing, following the evolution of people more and more involved into the brand experience. Philip Kotler, the father of marketing, also in these years started to develop these kind of rules that are still relevant for marketers, because they share many important values that the companies need to remember and take care when they decide to develop their strategies. I will read some of these rules. For example, the first one, love your customers and respect your competitors. So there is, of course, a huge competition. If we think about fashion and luxury industry, of course, the competition was really, really higher. But it's important to start to watch your competitors in a good way, as a way to inspire your strategy. So it's important to study the competitors, but at the same time to find your uniqueness. So a positive competition. Watch for change, be ready to change, the importance to be ready for every kind of change of the society, for example. Protect your name, be clear about your identity. So it's important to really know who you are, who the brand is, what the brand want to communicate, show the brand personality in some way, and think about the customers that are different. So if you want to attract them, you need to offer to them real benefits, and try to offer the most, for example, the most quality of product at a fair price. Other rules: always be available. We start talking about a service. The product is not enough. You need to really support the customer during the purchase. Get the customer base, keep it and grow it. So build your relationship with customer and maintain it. Take care of it. Whatever your business is, it's a service. Again, the importance of the service, of the customer care and customer service, of course. And try to focus every business in terms of quantity, cost, and result. Try to be transparent with the information and try to make your decision based on common sense. These are some of the rules that Philip Kotler share and try to train the marketers in order to follow it and to keep the marketing strategies more relevant and also emotional. So now let's move to marketing 4.0. We are entering into the digital era. So we talk about digital marketing, and some changes also happens here thanks to the internet, the evolution of the web, and we start also to talk about artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, all kind of technologies that brands start to use in order to promote their product in a more engaged way, but also to optimize some processes, in particular the digital promotion and digital marketing. So the goal was to involve the customer and to build the relationship based on mutual trust and deeper values. So we start to talk about omni-channel communication, when omni-channel means to offer to the customer different channels, different media to communicate, but also to sell the product. So to give the opportunity to choose if the customer prefer to buy in the physical store or online, or connecting these channels in order to create an omni-channels experience, and try to humanize brands in order to increase the customer empathy. It's important here to do not see the brand as a person, but also to take care of customer as person, as human being, and try to generate this kind of empathy through the marketing and communication strategies. Here we can see an example of a campaign of these years, a campaign from Prada. We can see the emotional aspect, the storytelling, and also we can recognize the use of digital tools, graphical programs, in order to create something also more artistic in some way, as Prada always try to of course, use the digital technologies to be always on trend. Quite close to marketing 4.0 start to be also the marketing 5.0, because we can see here the real evolution of artificial intelligence. So we are in a moment of AI driven to create very important and very engaging processes to really make the customer part of the journey, of the customer journey, to take care about every step, every stages of the customer journey, and to create this strong connection between brand and customer with the evolution of the technology. So the most important technologies are, of course, the artificial intelligence used to generate the automation of processes, to optimize processes, to optimize the timing, to collect data of the customers, and to study and analyze all of these data in order to know exactly the customer needs and to protect at the same time this data. So in these years, we started to talk about privacy. That is a very delicate aspect because we don't want really to leave our data many times, but of course, from the company point of view, it's always a big opportunity to collect the data and to know something more about the customers. We are in a moment where both started to be part of the e-commerce, for example, chatbot, live chat, automatic answers, etc., to optimize also the online purchase, make the difference and give a 24-hour support online to the customer. And another important aspect is the opportunity to really study the social media. So also from the different social networks, we can really analyze the sentiment, the comments, the likes, the emotions, the real needs of customers, how they comment a new collection, a fashion show, a new product. So we can exactly know what they prefer and how they interact with the brand. We can understand in some way how they approach the brand and how the brand can approach them. So it's a win-win communication, interactive communication, totally. And thinking about the target, the audience, and the customer, we start to talk about a hyper personalization, an extreme personalization. Personalization of a product from a point of view, because we are in a moment where we can personalize the product. For example, when we buy something online, we can choose maybe the format, the color, the pattern, etc., the quality, and sometimes also the price, comparing different products and brands. But also, even more important, the personalization of the experience, thanks to the newsletter, thanks to the collection and the analysis of data. So the idea is to make the customer feel special and unique. And talking about communication, we can imagine how brands can personalize their experience in the physical store when you enter and the shop assistant recognizes you, knows your name, you feel in some way special. But also online, when you receive a notification, a message, a newsletter, and you have the opportunity to see the collection preview, or you receive a discount because it's your birthday month. So there are many ways to create this personalization. And an example of a campaign is from Moncler. Of course, these pictures is quite digitalized, so we can recognize the use of the technology, maybe also the use of AI. But more important here is the connection between the brand and the customer. So telling a story about a customer, the customer dream, how the customer can imagine to use their product. So create this sort of message, emotional connection, empathy, again, with the customer is really important in order to approach customers from many media. And of course, here we have just a picture, but we can imagine this campaign be transformed into a video, digital billboards, 3D images, etc. So a communication really omnichannel. And here we are to Marketing 6.0, talking about immersive experiences. The word immersive, it's huge, no? We can give a different kind of interpretation maybe of what does really immersive means. But of course, the immersion into something, immersion into the brand, into the experience, into the feelings also, in something that can make the difference. So in these years and today, because we are in the Marketing 6.0, we can mention some important elements, some important aspects. For example, the Internet of Things, so the use of the internet on common things, common devices, etc., that make the difference. The use of the app, for example, to purchase, to collect information, to use, for example, the try-on technology, the augmented reality, etc. The blockchain, also to collect data and to create something unique. The improvement of marketing strategy thanks to the artificial intelligence, the analytics, the big data, and the machine learning. And in these years, the goals are trying to predict the buying needs and try to personalize the entire shopping experience. Try to support the customer during the journey and to feel the customer part of the journey, optimizing timing and tools in order to engage customer and to create an authentic communication. In these years and in the contemporary marketing and communication strategies, authenticity is super important. When we feel that the brand is authentic, is transparent, so it's showing and sharing real information and want to share the commitment and want to be transparent also in terms of product and services to the customers. This is what makes the difference today if we analyze the most important brands and branding strategies. Some examples of campaign. Here we can see a Jacquemus campaign where we can feel in some way the experience. So in this moment of digitalization, metaverse, artificial intelligence, etc., we feel also this need to come back to authenticity, to live real moments, to enjoy moments, and to create emotions. So I think this campaign can be an interesting example of that, of authentic immersion. But also in the last years, we have seen very special moments during the runways, for example, during the fashion show, something spectacular like the fashion show of Copernic, with the evolution and the technologies to make different and new type of garments, etc. So we need to maintain in some way a balance between the innovation, the technology, the evolution, and the authenticity. And another important aspect of marketing and communication, and a big example of that, is to really create immersive experiences for your audience, your target, and your potential customers. So many brands started to invest in create different kind of experiences, not just thinking about the retail, the common store, or the e-commerce, but connected also to other industries, other market, like for example, the personalization of some cafes, restaurants, in order to give to the customers different kind of experiences and try to use the five senses, because the marketing 6.0 and the immersive experience is really recall the experiential marketing. And here the opportunity is to try to use the five senses, or most of them, in order to create an experience where you can feel, you can smell, you can touch, you can taste, and of course you can see. And be inspired, feel inspired by the brand and feel totally immersed into the experience. In this way, brands can really enhance their reputation, their identity, and engage even more the customers, or maybe approach new potential customer. Because we can say that many brands are investing a lot in the young generation, showing avatars, metaverse, video gaming, etc. Because maybe they are not the customers of today, but they will be the customers of tomorrow. So it's important to find new way to engage them. So in this marketing 6.0, we start to read this word, also suggested by Kotler and other marketers, that is the meta marketing, where from multi-channel to omni-channel, we are going to the meta. So where the immersive online and offline are all together. So we can start online and finish the purchase offline and vice versa. So it's not just the integration, but it's really the immersion into the experience. And we can recognize some important elements of that. So what can create the experience? The multisensory marketing, the five senses, the special marketing, the study of the space that we have in the physical retail, or in the e-commerce, or even in the metaverse. How we can use metaverse in order to create an experience, and why not also to sell product. We need to take care about the environment from the metaverse to extended reality, using also different devices. It's super important for brand to invest, not just in a good, aesthetic website, but to adapt the aesthetic in the different devices. First of all, in the smartphone, but also in the new ones. And the enable that can be the Internet of Things, the data collection, the data processing, the augmented reality and virtual reality for different interfaces, the blockchain, etc. So many aspects that become crucial today. And now I want to show you also even something more in depth about this immersive marketing, the meta marketing, where we have five maybe elements that can make the difference in marketing and promotional strategies today. The short form video content, the community-based social media, the interactive e-commerce, the language-based artificial intelligence, and immersive wearable devices. These are micro trends that we can recognize today, and marketers need to invest on them in order to create great and immersive experiences for their customers. So about the short form video content, we can immediately think about the promotion of today, no? The video, the short video that catch our attention. During the day, we can see a lot of advertising in the magazine, in the billboards, in television, etc. But what can really catch our attention? Maybe a very short video like a TikTok or Instagram, but more emotional. So it's not important sometimes to show a lot of information about the product or the brand. It's important to show an emotion and to catch the attention of the customer through this video content, and to make a direct link from the emotional campaign directly maybe to the e-commerce, the website or the social media, in order to give the opportunity to buy if they want the product directly. So connected emotion to purchase. Very smart, but the storytelling is the key. The community-based social media, we can discuss about a lot of different social networks used in the different part of the world, depends from the countries, etc. But what is important to share through the social networks is a real and authentic connection with the brand, a deep conversation. So people today want to talk about what's happening in our life, wars or I don't know, the important values that we can share today, genderless, inclusion, diversity. People want to discuss about that, want to feel what the brand thinks about that. So it's important to show an authentic and trust-based communication in order to build a strong relationship with the customers. And the e-commerce, that is no more just a space to sell the product, but need to be a place to stay, to feel interesting information, to enjoy every moment. So we can talk about social commerce today, so turning the social media pages into shoppable storefronts, conversational commerce, selling also through message, app, etc., starting conversation with the customers, or the live stream commerce, that is not something new, but become maybe more fresh. How also the young, we can think about YouTubers, for example, can promote some product through live video, engaging also the young generation and explaining how to use them, the tutorials, no? So we are into the language-based AI era. It's important to think about the new devices that we can use, and also fashion and luxury brands start to use to develop a new kind of marketing and communication strategies. An example can be the different voice assistant, Siri, Alexa, etc., with the voice command to perform specific task. So asking where to find some brand, where to find some product, can start a conversation. So it's important for fashion and luxury brands maybe to study how they can use it. The chatbot try to give quickly answers to the potential customer anytime, and the large language model to generate complex and consistent text with the prompts. Of course, here we can discuss about the OpenAI, ChatGPT, etc., where of course the first results of a question, for example, what is the most interesting brand today in fashion? Of course, the brands that will appear first are the ones that invested more in this type of promotion. So it's very important to be present in all of these devices and tools. And one of the last trends that we are seeing in these years are the immersive wearable devices, where we can choose to wear something technological, to enjoy the moment, to record the moment, to live and record an experience and share it with our friends in live streaming. And not just with the smartphone, but maybe in this case with the Ray-Ban or other devices. So here we can imagine the use of the Oculus to live digital experiences into the metaverse, the 3D audio earbuds, also for special occasions or special different sports, etc. The smart glasses connected to, for example, the Rainbow stories to the social networks, etc. So just a few images to show you this evolution of the techwear, the fashion, and the interactive garden, thanks to generative AI, but also very textiles, etc. We can create something unexpected, something functional, but also fashion is what brands are trying to do to engage the customer and in particular the younger generation, because of course the younger generation want to feel part of the brand but want to feel inspired by the brand, so they need to see also a fresh way to communicate and to engage them. And related to that, we can say that the techwear can be useful to express the evolution of the culture, of the customer and the identity. And why not also enhance the sustainability and the ethical fashion, creating something that can be also helping, for example, a specific kind of customer, or the 3D printing that can help to maybe manage the high volume of production and be more sustainable. And we can see new devices, new items, new garments, more and more smart, like the smart ring, for example, that are functional because they can read our health, but they need to be also fashionable in some way. So coming back to our journey, try to refresh our journey. As we have seen, we passes from the marketing 1.0, product driven, to the marketing 2.0, customer focused, the marketing 3.0, values driven, the marketing 4.0, focus on digital transformation, the marketing 5.0, related to technology, but also humanity, and marketing 6.0 that is now immersive and meta. If you are curious and you want to deepen these topics, I recommend you to read the Kotler books related to exactly this evolution of marketing. And the last one is exactly marketing 6.0. And I want to finish with a question for you. What we expect from marketing 7.0? What will happen? What's next? And how we can be prepared for that? So this is an invitation to think about the evolution, not just of brand or branding or marketing, but of humanity, first of all. So thank you so much, and now I open to answer to your question.
Thank you very much, Valentina. We do have some questions now. So I will start asking. There are some in Spanish, and I know that won't be a problem for you, so I'll start with the first one. ¿Qué herramientas de inteligencia artificial crees indispensables para hacer campañas?
Depends, in español, ¿no? Depende de la marca, depende del target, del consumidor, porque el consumidor puede que tenga una atracción para una comunicación más enfocada en la tecnología, o quizás prefiere algo más natural y auténtico. Así que la respuesta siempre la da el target, el consumidor.
Thank you. Then we have, what do you think Okay, it's here. What do you think entails the use of AI in every aspect of a marketing campaign in terms of authenticity, creativity, and ethical use of it?
Yeah, AI, it's a tool to use, need to be a tool to use to make a campaign maybe more functional, fresh, interactive, engaging. But of course, need to start from a creative idea, a human idea, and try to do not lose this sense of authenticity. About ethics, of course, AI need to be regulated, and the more transparent is the brand showing also the use of AI to the customer, the more the customer will trust on the brand. So again, is an interaction. And I cannot imagine a campaign totally made by AI because there is always a human that generated.
Yeah, absolutely. We have two questions from Christina. She's asking if a person in the engineering field can enter the immersive marketing field. And the other one is which step in the current marketing do you think that, you consider the most difficult to be implement in practice?
In terms of, sorry, the last part of the question?
In practice.
In practice. Technology is really making a difference today in the evolution of promotion and marketing. What I think really make the difference is if the technology generate this interaction with the customer. In fashion and luxury, we can say that we are seeing a lot of promotional campaign, digital fashion show, super immersive, super engaging. But then when we see and we watch a fashion show or we participate to a real event, is when we really feel the real emotion. So it's still different. I cannot remember the first question, maybe. Laura, sorry.
No worries. She was asking if a person with a engineering background can enter the immersive marketing field.
Of course. See, a good thing today in our world is that if you have a passion, you just need to study, of course, because study is crucial today, but of course, and I think this background can even help to also put some finances, something different. So why not?
Then we have a question from Ricardo, and he asked, as a graphic designer, which marketing strategy is best for me to apply?
Also here really depend from you, who you are, who are your customers, your potential customers maybe. You need to find your way. You need to try that. There are not the magic rules. So the most important brands try every time different strategies. They invest in a lot of different media tools to see what really works. So the suggestion is try different things, be consistent, be authentic, try to represent yourself by the media that you normally use, and find your way. Think about who you want to reach.
Thank you. We have a question in Italian. Zaira, great. As most of the audience do not speak Italian, I will translate it in English. I think that can be better. So Zaira is asking if in a context where algorithms influence consumer decision, how can brands maintain their authenticity and sense of purpose?
Yeah, it's a very good point because when we open an e-commerce page, we can see a product and immediately around the product, other product recommended by the brand thanks to this kind of algorithm, etc. No? So it's a very good point. I think if we can use the technology to guide the customer and leave the customer choose their preferences, the brand can maintain more the authenticity. So it's good, it's okay to use the algorithm to maybe optimize and offer different kind of product, complete the purchase, the cross-selling, etc. But it's important to maybe show also the storytelling, the emotional aspect, to invite the customer to want to know more, to explore, leave the customer free, yes, to explore and move until find something that they like.
Thank you. And also from Zaira, what do you think will be the next major change in global marketing strategy in the upcoming years?
Good question. That was the question I asked you guys. So we can just imagine, but we will see. I personally think that we are in a moment where we are coming back to emotion, and we want to feel emotion. I really think that the experiential marketing, the neuroscience maybe can be the next step. So how to really study the responses of our brain to different kind of stimuli, or maybe this is just my passion, but maybe in the future we will see something more related to the study of human emotions.
We have a very personal question from Paulina. So she is wondering what's your favorite marketing campaign so far, Valentina?
Okay, I have a lot. I have a lot also from the past. I can say that the last one of Gucci, it's interesting from the marketing point of view, not maybe for the style, depends from the taste of everyone, but in terms of marketing is really smart because the last campaign of Gucci showed the different archetypes, the different outfit made as a real different person, archetype, stereotype in some way. So I found it very, very engaging. And Gucci made also this fashion film that is amazing. So I recommend you to watch it because it's super, super cool. If I need to remember my favorite campaign in terms also of video and marketing strategy, I remember one from Kenzo, the perfume, that was really, really amazing.
Great. Then from Carla, how far do you think social events affect marketing? Talking, for example, about what is happening in Gaza and other actions of President Trump. Do you think they work as motivation, something to be worried about, something to be strong, or just something to win more views?
It's another very, very good question. I think people want to feel brands close to them. So it's not maybe the politic way, or brands doesn't needs to show from which part they are, but they need to show and share empathy. Because fashion got this power to inspire people. And from the history of fashion, we have seen campaign, fashion show, collection, marketing strategies based on them. I just think about Vivienne Westwood, always fight for the sustainability, the ethics, the human rights, the animals. So it's important to show the commitment and to give a voice to the brand to inspire people.
Thank you very much. We have another question, and so yeah, Nargens, I'm sorry, I don't know how to properly pronounce your name, but so how can a brand maintain empathy and the human touch in this communication while adopting AI and automatic marketing strategies?
Yes, using AI and the technology in general means to put and develop your message in a stronger way. So first of all, you need to start with the concept, an idea, a message. And after you choose the technologies in order to make it stronger, to make it powerful. So in that way, you are not risking to lose the power and the emotional aspect of it.
Thank you. So Esmeralda is asking how to promote a brand we're marketing today. So I think this was totally the session, but if Valentina, you can make us a little brief for Esmeralda. That would be.
Sì. The steps to follow are know yourself, know you as a brand, what values you want to communicate, study your target customer, what they want, what they need, where they are, what are their preferences, and how to generate emotion to them. Study your competition in order to be inspired, but also to maintain and show your uniqueness.
Thank you. And from Leslie, I'll continue in English so that we don't mess up with all the translations. But so for you, which brand has managed to find a balance between the use of AI and maintaining an emotional human connection with customers in marketing?
Yeah, I would say, for example, I really appreciate two brands in terms of communication, promotion, retail, experience, physical and digital. I think they maintain their authenticity, so the emotional aspect, but use technology in an amazing way. And they are Moncler and Bulgari. Bulgari, it's really super interesting to study because they invest a lot in digital transformation, in technologies. They create a lot of temporary experiences. They made collaboration with, for example, digital artists, creating the first AI experience open to everyone a few years ago. So I think they are really balanced the use of technology to create emotion. As well, Moncler, with the strategy of Moncler Genius, they create a lot of exhibition, events, campaign based on technology, but really showing a lot of emotions, commitment, and engaging the different also generations, physically and digitally.
Thank you very much. From Paulina, what's the best way to introduce ourselves into this job marketing? What are the companies searching in a portfolio?
Okay, as I said always to my students, company are search people to trust. So the most important thing is to be authentic, to do as much as of experiences you can do, of course, to study, to be prepared, to be trained, but also to demonstrate not just the technical skills, but also the soft skills. So to be to show your empathy, to be prepared, to be on time, to show your commitment, and to show your passion and your attitude is what make the difference.
Thank you very much. Then we have two more. So from Andrea, how do you manage to remember and use all the information about the variables that affect the marketing, so then you get a satisfactory result?
It's quite of impossible. So you put all the information, you study, and you do your best in order to develop a consistent strategy. Of course, you can lose a lot of aspects because we are human. But in this case, maybe technologies can help to develop a good marketing plan, a good business plan, and again, try. The secret is try and see what strategies are really worked for your customers in this market. Yeah.
Thank you. And I believe we also have a couple of questions in the chat. Let me just double check very quickly. Oh yes, we do have some more here. Okay. One question from Gabriel. So he asked if he should use AI to measure the strategy results. It is reliable to know awareness effectiveness.
If we use AI to analyze results, of course, but is not the only tool that we need to use. So if we can, for example, analyze the effectiveness of a campaign, of an event, of something, we need to decide our KPIs, the key performance indicators, and control all of them. So it's not just AI. We need to maybe analyze also the social networks, the sentiment analysis, generate surveys. So the key is to analyze the effectiveness through different media and tools, not just one, not just AI.
Thank you very much. I will read one more because I know it's very late for you.
Okay.
But we have one from Lorena. So what's your take on brands that speak publicly on political matters? Would you say it's a good marketing strategy? And also she would like to know where she can find you and read more about your work, because she said you are very interesting.
Thank you so much. The question was, sorry.
No worries. Well, the second one, where they can connect with you and read more about your work, and also what is your take on brands that speak publicly about political matters, and what would you say it's a good marketing strategy?
Depends how they share their thoughts and what's the tone of voice, the storytelling, the language, etc. As I said before, is not to take a part in politics, for example, but for me, the most important thing is to share the values and to inspire people. This is the most important aspect that I appreciate because today we see a lot of things happens in our world, in our street, and fashion cannot be indifferent to them. And is not taking it as a marketing strategy, is taking it in order to develop a message and share a message. This, I think, is important. And you can find me on LinkedIn, first of all. I will be glad to stay in touch with you, and also in Instagram if you want.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we all find very useful this session. Gracias a todos también por acompañarnos en esta interesante sesión. Esperamos que resulte provechosa para acercar a los estudiantes mexicanos y al público en general a nuevos conceptos. En nombre de la Cámara de Comercio Italiana en México, me gustaría expresar mi gratitud por su presencia en esta sesión y también extiendo un agradecimiento a todas las marcas que forman parte de Encuentro Creativo, entre ellas Exilor Luxótica, Lavazza, Fiat, entre otros. ¡Feliz día!
Thank you, gracias.